I'm holding in my hands a Mexican Rosy Boa. Come join me on this trip as I head into the field to see if I can find one of these in the wild in Arizona.
Don't forget to subscribe and join our Facebook page in the description below. I'm headed now to southern Arizona, the home of the Mexican Rosy Boa. There are two different kinds of boas in Arizona. The first is the desert Rosy Boa, and the second, the Mexican Rosy Boa, now also known as the three-lined boa. Both boas can be found early in the morning, during the late afternoon or evening, or during hotter times of the year, at night. Because of how warm it is, I'm expecting to see one at night. Mexican Rosy Boas, like desert Rosy Boas, inhabit dry, rocky deserts where summer temperatures can exceed 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm always amazed to see how these seemingly fragile animals can survive in the hot, dry, barren deserts. The first snake of the trip is this skinny and dehydrated western diamondback rattlesnake. This is not a good sign about the health of the area. I really hope that there's been enough rain to keep the boas healthy. The sun is starting to get lower and the likelihood of finding a Rosy Boa rapidly approaching. It's gotten quite a bit darker now, and I'm working my way up this narrow wash, carefully examining these little miniature caves that have formed that are great places for herps to hide. Just maybe, if I'm lucky, I might be able to find a Mexican Rosy Boa emerging from one of them. Here's a western banded gecko out crawling around. This is probably a good sign. Well, I haven't had any luck down in the canyon here, so I'm going to go ahead and make my way back up and start doing a little bit of road cruising. Once back up on the road, I was able to see this very pretty long-nosed snake. This one has a clean pattern and very reduced red, which is typically called a Claris phase long-nosed snake. They were once considered to be a different species or subspecies of long-nosed snake, but are now only recognized as a phase. The same species as the more standard-looking long-nosed snake, with a more busy pattern and more red. Well, that was a slow night. A single long-nosed snake and a banded gecko. The next morning, I awoke to several of these large birds in the desert trees. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments below what they are. I took down my tent and began hiking to do a little bit of exploring. I hiked along an old jeep trail, and after a short ways noticed these snake tracks in the loose, silty soil. These appear to be sidewinder rattlesnake tracks. In the creosote flats, although there aren't many rocks that herps can use for cover, there are plenty of burrows underneath the majority of the bushes that provide a great place for lizards, snakes, and other desert wildlife to survive. Look at all of this open space. Who knows how many burrows are out there and how much wildlife is hidden from view safely in the underground burrows. I hiked away from the jeep trail and closer to a rocky canyon that looked like it deserved exploring. I didn't find any snakes, but did see plenty of lizards, and it might be worth it to come back to this spot again in the future to hike it at night. I saw what I believe were many desert iguanas while I was out hiking. Here is one of them keeping an eye on me from the safety of a creosote bush. I also got a very brief glimpse of a long-nosed leopard lizard in the brush. See it right there in the upper left-hand corner? I'm glad that I came prepared for the hike this morning. These gaiters that my daughter picked out for me for Christmas kept my ankles free from all of the thorns and stickers. I explored a few areas that I hadn't explored before during the heat of the day, hoping to find some new places that could be good for herping in the future. It's always a thrill to me to explore areas of the wilderness that are new to me. In my mind, there are still some amazing discoveries that are yet to be found, and the best way to have those experiences is to explore the unknown. As the sun started to descend, I made my way back to familiar ground. Along the way, I found lots of groupings of blister beetles like this one. A friend of mine found this beautiful tiger rattlesnake that he let me take a short video of before the sunset. The sun was setting and temperatures beginning to drop. The night was now ripe for hunting. This is my last night in the area. One last attempt at finding a Mexican Rosy Boa for me for the year. Alright, a lyre snake. I love seeing lyre snakes. When searching for Rosy Boas, lyre snakes often also turn up because the habitat that lyre snakes inhabit is very similar to Rosy Boa habitat. Lyre snakes are almost completely nocturnal. They are secretive snakes that hunt at night primarily for lizards, bats, and small rodents. They are beautiful snakes that are infrequently found. Yes, there it is, a Rosy Boa. I can't believe it. Just moments after stopping to video record the lyre snake, I saw it rapidly crawling across the road. Here it is.
Check out this Rosy Boa. So this guy was just found crossing the road fairly quickly. I'm not typically used to seeing him cross that this quickly, but it is pretty warm tonight. Check that out. Look at that. Look at that.
Desert Rosy Boas and Mexican Rosy Boas are the only two species of boids that are known to be native to Arizona. They're generally slow-moving and secretive snakes that are fairly seasonal in their activity. Mexican Rosy Boas are heavy-bodied, but small, not normally getting much longer than about 2 or 2.5 feet. They have smooth scales, 3 chocolate stripes that run the length of their body, and have a blunt tail. They are fairly popular in the pet trade, and captive-bred Rosy Boas are readily available and can make great pets. If you decide to buy a Rosy Boa as a pet, be sure to check the laws where you live to make sure that you can legally purchase one. And now, a surprise bonus. A herping companion of mine found this amazing long-nosed snake. Take a look at the areas where the black should be. The black areas are so faded that where the black should be, there is now just very faded light brown color. Wow! This appears to be some variant of hypomelanism or perhaps even some sort of amelanism. Tell me down below in the comments what you think it might be. This is a very unusual find. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos.